2018's Gamescom, held in Germany, of course. This year's apparently will apparently see just shy of 500,000 people. That is a lot more than E3, and I must say the venue is certainly up to it. I mean it's massive. There are eight big halls that not only host the merchandise, of which I got to see quite a bit of, but also, of course, the actual games, the presentation stages, and where competitions are going to be held. Now, I went on the Tuesday, which was the 21st of August, which is basically open to well, obviously journalists, but also to special people, people who sort of blog and I don't know. There was a lot of people there and a lot of kids. I'm still trying to work out how they got in because they definitely weren't journalists. Anyway, I got to roam around for the entire day on behalf of Critical Hit. And wow, that's all I can say. I've been to a few of these things before. I've been to EGE, which is based at Cape Town's International Convention Center. I also got to go to the Rage, which was once held in Cape Town, which was a bit of a flop, unfortunately. I've also been to a couple based in Johannesburg. That's the biggest expo, and this year is looking to be even larger than usual. So I got to go there quite early in the morning. After a little issue with press accreditation, I managed to get into the place. And once you're in there, it's like, wow, expect a lot of walking, like a hell of a lot of walking. So I actually got to go behind the scenes at Ubisoft's stand, or Ubisoft's business area anyway. And I got to see quite a few, well, not quite a few, but like three, as a matter of fact, games. One is The Division 2. One is a biker game. I'm trying to remember what Trials, I think it's called, which is actually pretty cool. I don't really go for the sport games and stuff, but this was quite a lot of fun. I mean, just it was awesome. The mechanics behind it, the sort of physics engine is absolutely brilliant. So when you're crashing with a friend, the friend flies off this way, and you watch him crumple against the wall, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And also got to play Ubisoft's Stronach Battle for Atlas, which is very similar to a almost like a No Man's Sky, but more arcade-like and a lot more refined. It's wonderful having procedurally generated worlds and literally solar systems. But one thing that you cannot do with that is be as artistic as sitting there with a canvas and coming up with something that's just from the designer's and artist's mind. So the game looks beautiful. We only saw one planet. And I played it for about, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. The novelty here is that it is one of these games where you buy real models, for the thing. And if you get your control pad, you see the PS4, the Xbox One, what the hell they call it these days, and even Switch now too. And you plug, it has so basically there's a mount on your control pad, and you plug you put a pilot in there first. So it's like a ejection seat. You put your pilots in, you choose from a range of pilots that you can buy from blister packs. And then you put the craft on top of them, and then you add sort of wings, and you add rocket launchers or phasers or Gatling guns. So it's a lot of fun, and you can turn it upside down, you can turn them backwards and forwards. There's no right way of sort of assembling. It's like kind of like Lego that you just put things together any way you want, which is quite nice. So you don't, you're not wrong. You can't, say to your child, "You did it wrong, you little shit." And the thing is, I thought this was going to be for kids only. Definitely not. I can see that parents will be playing with their kids with this game. Definitely, I think they'll want to because once you splashed out, I think I said something like $79 for the first game and the pack, which is not too bad if you think that most games go for $60 these days. And yeah, I mean, as I was saying, parents will be playing with their kids, and one reason that they'll be playing with their kids is that you can play this co-op. Couch co-op, as in split screen, which I absolutely love. I've always loved split screen. It's a great way of playing and actually interacting with someone as opposed to just over the internet. When you have a headset problem or etc. etc. So that's one of the reasons why I think this is it's actually going to work quite nicely. One of the things. What else about the game? Yeah, it's like I say, it's very much like No Man's Sky. Even the coloring is very similar. This one particular planet looks quite similar to the planet you spawn on when you first start No Man's Sky. But as I say, this game's a lot prettier. It's a lot faster. The dogfights in this were great. The switching between going up into atmosphere or into space, and then down onto the actual planetary environment is seamless, much like No Man's Sky this as well. A lot of things look very similar. Even as you're coming into the planet, the control pad shakes and you've got clouds coming past you. So nothing you haven't seen before. But like I say, it's a lot more refined. So yes, I think this is going to be quite a big game. I'm just hoping that the cost of the different elements won't be an issue. But apparently you actually can buy these elements electronically. I wonder whether there's going to be a price difference, though. I'm pretty sure there won't be, because otherwise what's the reason to go out? It's much like the Nintendo's Amiibo thingamajig, It's your parents are going to be stressing, I think, during Christmas over that. So that was quite nice to see. I got to see Division 2 as well. which is looking great. I can't say too much about that, other than, well, the reason I can't say too much about that is because they didn't say too much to us in the first place. It looks, like I said, it looks quite stunning. This is set in Washington now, and one of the reasons why they wanted to do that, just going to see if I can pull up my notes here. One of the reasons why they want to do that is because they could offer a lot more variety in the sort of environment. Whereas with the first one, it was set in the one area. It's very snowy-like, so that even the weather conditions are they're quite similar in the first game. So the second one, you're looking at tropical environments because it gets very, very hot in DC. There's like, what's it? That's right, 6 different areas. The game takes place 7 months after the first game, so it actually gives you time to sort of establish base, as it were. So imagine jumping at the very beginning of The Walking Dead. As this has just happened, and you're scrambling to sort of survive, and then throw yourself 7 months down where you have survived, and now you've sort of found a way to survive. So that's what they're going for over there. There's a lot of world building. We spoke to, I forget the guy's name. He was actually a very good presenter, even though it was a standard generic 30-minute presentation to press. He actually sounded quite excited and invigorated, but it wasn't that late in the day. But he sent people, they all got sent over there. They interviewed locals, they interviewed the sheriffs, they interviewed police, and they interviewed firemen to try and get how people would react if you are working for a public service. And like, I think one of the interview guys said that, yes, I'm a fireman, and if there's a fire, I'm going to try to help people. But if my 2 kids are there, he's going to look after them first. That's just instinct. You can't override human stuff. So a lot of this research, I think, was quite important in getting the game of Division to a very sort of I don't know, critical mass, realistic level as far as it can be in that particular kind of context and genre. But so that looks quite cool. That looks like a lot of fun. Then, as I said, we had Trials, which is more like motorbikes and bikes and whatnot. As I said, it's not really my big thing, but it was a lot of fun. And you can play 7-player co-op on this in time trials. There's also a new thing that they had that they didn't have in their last game, which is playing against your ghost. I'm sure everyone knows what it's like to play against your ghost, but you can also play against another person's ghost. So imagine a global map. You click that you want to play in, let's say, Berlin, and you play in Berlin, and then somebody else comes after you and plays your ghost. And then he beats your thing, and then it notifies you that he's beaten your time trial, and then you can play again and try and beat his. And this sort of goes on as long as you want it to go on, which is quite cool. And by doing this, you get unlocks, all cosmetic, as I've made very clear. There's no pay to win over here. But it's quite nice to brag if you're going around with, I don't know, a Mario head, or not that I'm saying that there is a Mario head that you can wear, but it's just bragging rights, and I think it's quite a nice model. So yeah, that was quite cool to see that too. So thank you very much for the help at the back in Ubisoft's area. And yeah, it was cool. So, and what else do we have to look at? Yes, video games, video games, video games. So yes, of course, everyone goes here for games. Well, that's not actually true. I mean, if you go to E3, there's a lot of work that's basically just advertising and plugging your product. One thing I've noticed about the Gamescom compared to other videos and stuff is that it definitely focuses on the games. There are so many, there were so many, and are, as I'm speaking right now, because it's Thursday, carries on for the weekend, is that it's just packed with games everywhere. And big games too, not just, we've got things like Tomb Raider, which we've seen a lot of already, games like Devil May Cry 5, we've got Resident Evil 2 that's coming out, we've got Metro. There's so many games that you were allowed to actually play, even Division 2, and so yes, it looked fantastic. And we've got things like Darksiders 3 coming out, so those are just like the big wig games. But if you go into other areas, like there's areas like Italian games, where you can go and have a look at the smaller indie stuff. There's a huge indie section too, which I didn't even get to go and actually see, well, perhaps not see, but watch. I sort of walked past them, okay, I'll come back here. So if you want to go to this place and actually see everything, or at least cover anything, you definitely need to go with a team of people. One person cannot do it. And I wonder, if you are a person that's going to be going there for like a couple of days, how long you would actually survive it. Because just looking at some of the, I'll see if I can get any pictures, whether I can use them or not is a different story. But looking at the crowds yesterday, on the Wednesday, when everyone actually arrived, going through an area that I breezed through, just strolled through, it looked like cattle. I was like, what the hell, man? I didn't expect it to be that mad. But you can see why. I mean, it's definitely a conference that's dedicated to the gameplay. And of course, there is merchandise, don't get me wrong. The merchandise area was fantastic. It was huge. And of course, when I was there, there weren't that many people, but at least it's designed in a way that has, big corridors or the big lanes, as it were, between each stand. So I think a lot of fun is going to be had at this at this Gamescom 2018. So anyway, I've had enough chatting and stuff. So have a look at some of the videos that I took over there. I sort of sporadically jumped from introductions to Farm Simulator. The reason I went on about Farm Simulator is just because I couldn't stop laughing. They literally had a tractor there. They had people, and people were losing their shit about this thing, like it was a new Call of Duty. I wondered if it sells that well. Anyway, then of course there's a huge area for Blizzard. With massive things happening with things like World of Warcraft, for example, which looked like a lot of fun. They even had people doing sort of tattoos, not permanent tattoos, but these spray tattoos. You could design your own ones and have it sprayed onto. What else? Yes, for was it Fortnite? It might have been Fortnite. One of these, sort of massive map game things had people strapping on and sort of, sliding down these wires to sort of, I don't know, emulate what it must be like to land on the planet, or land on the land that you can killing each other. So that was quite fun too. A lot of competitions taking place, as I said. I didn't get to see much cosplay. The first cosplay I did get to see was Lara Croft, of course. I think I saw about 5 or 6 different versions of her roaming around, and not much else actually. But that's because, as I say, it was more for the sort of covering of the event and interviewing people than actual, just enjoyment, which will be, for the next couple of days. So guys, catch you later. And yeah, if you are in the area, go and enjoy Gamescom. It is definitely worth it. Morning everyone, it's Nick here on the 21st of August, and I am sitting in Cologne, just about to go into the 2018 Gamescom, and as you can see there's a lot of construction happening behind me, and probably quite a famous little cathedral over there, the Cologne Cathedral. Hopefully I'm going to be going there tomorrow. But yeah, we'll have a look at what it's like inside, and I'll keep you guys posted. Yeah, Farm Simulator, I mean, okay, I can imagine like weird people like Nana maybe liking it, but Farm Simulator 19, obviously it's all the number of iterations, but yeah, it's people dressed up behind me on a, as you can see, yeah, that's weird. Then we also have Fortnite ahead of us, a big fucking game that I'm not really interested in, but they are harnessing people up and making them sort of slide across things. I'm not sure if you can see above me, they're sort of tying up a video across, which of course is kind of how you start the game when it's in a parachute. So yeah, a lot of gimmicks, I suppose, if you want to call it that. But it certainly is drawing the people, and then like I say, it's really nice to not have it so fucking busy. I mean, like I say, if you look behind me, tomorrow, which is the reason I'm not coming tomorrow, is because you can't do that. You can't walk backwards at a place like this, at least that's what I've heard, and what I've seen from the other team members who've been here. Okay, so we had the farming simulator, now we've got construction sucks. What's it? Construction simulator, Euro truck, American truck. Construction America is so fucking different. I don't know, man. It's not really my thing. I mean, they got a whole big truck there and everything. I mean, look at it. Weird, really weird. So right ahead of me is the Xbox area. And I was here earlier today, as I said, actually, well, I will say in the last video, but making this one before it, trying to get into some of the cool games, big cool games like Devil May Cry and Resident Evil 2, but this has been absolutely packed. I'm assuming it's going to still be absolutely mental right now, which is fine. I mean, if you don't really come to things to play the games, you're only going to be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, if even that, and it's just more of a, I can see, I've played it before, other people boast, I suppose. But yeah, Division 2 is looking quite cool. Had a nice sort of presentation earlier from Ubisoft. That was alright. Tomb Raider, well, everyone's seen a lot of footage from that already. Metro, I'm really excited about. Would have loved to have played that. But yeah, and of course, again, as I said, you know, bloody Devil May Cry 5, Devil May Cry 5. Yeah, it looks quite fun, actually. I've always liked that hack and slash kind of stuff. Yeah, not looking too bad. Old Xbox behind. And in the background over there, you can probably not really make out, but that's where I was earlier today. It's actually a lot quieter now, but I mean, it's almost 6 o'clock in the evening. Then of course we had Fallout 76, which is just over here. Say hello, Fallout boy. And try getting into that, but not really interested. It's not an online game, a browser game, isn't it, or something like that? It's all very lost. Yeah, it's definitely quieting down. Maybe I'll just give it a try. Ask the girl how long it is, and it's going to be 1 hour, and that's like, it's an hour before, an hour and a half before we finish the damn day. So people are still queuing up for an hour. Devil May Cry, hey? A lot of fans, lots of big fans. So I'm not waiting around for an hour to queue, I'm sorry. I'll get the game when I get the game. But other than that, it's been pretty cool, and let's go and have a look at some of the merchandise. Yeah, one of the great things about this Gamescom compared to places I've been to before, like EGE in Cape Town and Rage in Johannesburg, and they did have a failed one in Cape Town too, is that it really does feel like it's actually just here for gaming. I'm not sure if it's as different on the other days, but I must say right now that, shit, there's a lot of games to play. I haven't played any, because I spent the majority of the time taking pictures of other people playing, Nintendo in the background, lots of kids playing, the Switch and everything like that. It's really awesome. I mean, lots of games over here coming out very, very soon. The Lara Croft display behind me was pretty nice as well, set up like a sort of Aztec thing. You can see all the people waiting. There are a lot of people waiting for a lot of things here. I started out this morning trying to get into Resident Evil 2, the remake of course, and no luck there. I tried getting into Devil May Cry 5, no luck there. I mean, you sort of wait for an hour and a half to 2 hours, I would say, to get into one game. And if you're not there right, first thing in the morning, you're not going to get in at all. But I'm definitely going to come back if I'm here next year, and so I think I'll try and spend a bit more time. Actually, I think I just recognised a guy from Cape Town actually. Yeah, it's really awesome. It's a really, really nice place to come, especially if you are here on the Thursday, of course. Tomorrow it's going to be open to the public, which is going to be fucking insane apparently. And yeah, there's a lot of games that I would have liked to have played. In particular, this one that the guy is getting a picture. Where is he? Over there, which is of course Metro Exodus, which is the open world Metro game. Just waiting for him to finish his business over there. Mama, to get home with you. So yeah, it's been fantastic, and I look forward to putting together this video. There's going to be a lot of crap in there too, and a very shaky cam. Until someone buys me a new one, it's going to take a while. But yeah, anyway, it was a lot of fun. Really, really worth coming over here, and it's very different to, like I say, the other more commercial things that I've experienced before. Anyway, guys, catch you there. Until next year.